I've played My Hero Ultra Rumble over 100 hours collectively through the Japanese, the closed and the open beta test, and I have decided to share what I have learned through my playtime. Before I start, it is important to mention that my experience is based around 3 different beta tests which had characters buffed and nerfed, and also it is even more important to mention that these are all just beta tests and not the full game. Therefore, anything I say is subject to change. That being said, the core of the game will not change. The latest build is going to be close to identical to the full game, unless someone like Kendo gets reworked. She is in dire need of a rework. Deku is an overall balanced character, and because of that you will need more than just one tip to get better with him, but if you just started playing with him, I would recommend you to start leveling up your Black Whip. If you level it up enough, you will get additional charges, which means you can easily enter and exit fights whenever you want. Bakugou is a character with insane mobility, but for some reason players only use his flight ability to escape, not to actually get the advantage. Sure, running away is cool and all, but whenever I'm up against a Shigaraki, I make sure to never touch the ground. All in all, use your flight to reposition yourself in battles. Uraraka is a pretty good character both for solo players and for team players, but she can also mess up her teammates. With the press of the triangle button, you can give 0 gravity to your teammates, and while on paper it is a good thing, it might also mess up your teammates' movements, since they are most likely not used to it. Make sure to only use it on your friends if they know you will use it on them. Iida Tenya is the fastest boy in the whole game, and that makes it possible for him to leave his team and get level up cards for them from other spots. And even if you cannot get cards for your team, if they are in danger, you can get back to them in no time. Spawn at a different location and abuse your speed as much as you can. Todoroki players are not moving at all, and that is bad. Make sure to move at all costs. Shoot a couple of fire, then use your eyes to reposition yourself. And please forget that you have a flamethrower for your triangle skill. That thing has been useless for the past 3 beta tests. Unless it gets buffed, you might as well forget it exists. Tyuyu is kinda like Iida. You can keep looting for as long as you want since you can turn invisible, but don't go too far from your team. And if your teammates die, that's not a problem either. Just wait until the circle is small and you will be the queen of the game. You can literally keep your opponents outside of the circle. Denki is an assault type character, but I would say you should stay out of trouble. Unlike Bakugou or Todoroki, if you enter the fight, you are not leaving. Make sure to only engage in battle if you get a Mount Lady or a Deku to get everyone's attention. Kendo is weak. She's in need of a rework. Stay with your team at all costs. Don't leave them. I know fully well that randoms can be stupid, but you pick Kendo, so you must stay with them. Let them play their game. All Might is just like Deku. Overall, a pretty balanced character, but don't forget, this is not the anime. He is not invincible. At any time you get in trouble, make sure to just jump out of the fight. Cementos is even worse than Kendo. You pick Cementos, you might as well delete the game, but if you still feel committed, then forget looting and forget damaging. Your level 1 skills are good enough to annoy your opponents, just make sure your teammates are prepared to do the heavy lifting. Mount Lady players keep doing the same mistake every goddamn time. Stop staying in your giant form for a long period of time. You get into a fight, become a giant, use your dropkick, stomp once or twice, and if you still want to do more, start shooting projectiles on enemies below you while jumping. And that's it! Shrink back down. There will never be a time where you will need to engage in an actual fist fight. And as a side note, you can use Plus Ultra the very moment you start shrinking. Shigaraki was one of the strongest characters in all 3 betas, so he might get a couple of nerfs, but even with those, all you need to do is draw your opponent into closed corridors where they won't be able to jump out of your AoE attacks. You will melt their faces in no time. Dabi is a nerf version of Shigaraki basically, so the same advice applies here, but I'll be nice and give you guys another tip. Use your traps whenever somebody is chasing you. I can't tell you all how many people fall for that stupid trick. Toga is literally the whole video. Anything I said and will say applies to her based on the target you pick, but that's exactly where my additional tip comes in clutch. Make sure to choose your targets well. If the circle is getting smaller, then just copy Mount Lady. If you're in a trouble, then copy someone with insane mobility to get out of there. Compress is someone I can't really decide on whether he is weak or not, I just haven't played him enough, but from what I could tell, his range ability is what you gotta upgrade. The higher the level, the better your chances will be to fight off anyone in a 1v1. And with that, we have reached the end of the video. As I said, my experience is based on an unreleased version of My Hero Ultra Rumble, but it is more than enough to tell you all a couple of tips and tricks. 100 likes and I will do another guide video. Subscribe to the channel to not miss out on my uploads, and make sure to also drop a comment telling me a content suggestion about Ultra Rumble. I have 400GB worth of recording stored on my PC, so I can keep up the uploads for another month or so. Thank you all for watching. I hope you have had an amazing day. Stay safe. Until next time, boys. Peace!